All right, I want to make sure we cover some odd circumstances that might come up with tiles in perimeter and area. So real quickly, let's take a look at this. I have an x squared tile and a unit tile, and they're up next to each other, and I want to write the area for these. The area, as we recall, is the name of the tile, so simply I have x squared plus 1, and I have to label it, so it's units squared. But the perimeter is a whole nother beast. So, as always, I draw my arrow to the top left corner, and I walk my way around, labeling each side. So, I'm walking around this piece of land. Let's call it that. This side, we have an X, because we know the X tile matches that. And we know that this whole side right here is also X, but it's being taken up. I don't have a full X tile sitting there because this unit tile is taking up 1 unit of the X tile. So this is, when we say it's taking up, it's taking away from the X tile. So it's really X minus 1. Then down here we have an X and an X, but we have to remember to walk around our unit tile. So now I can go through and I can write out my perimeter, and I want all my students to write it out fully first. So again, starting up here at the corner, I have an X tile, and I'm adding an X minus a unit, so X minus 1. Then I have 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, plus an X, and an X. Oh, I gotta squeeze it in. All right. So now I'm going to use my categories method to create a table to help me combine my like terms. So for this I have x's and numbers. So I have x, an x, a -1, a +3, and 2 more x's. So I can add this up, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. And 3 minus 1 is a +2. So my perimeter is 4x plus 2 units. So for this shape, my area was the tile's name. I had an x squared plus 1, and it's units squared because it's area. My perimeter, we walked around the outside. And I have 4x plus 2 once all like terms are combined. All right, let's look at the next shape. Here I have a y squared tile, and then I have an x tile. So my area is y squared plus x units squared. But my perimeter needs a lot more. So, again, start at the top left corner. I have a y because I know that the y tile fits up exactly. I have y, except for this is not just y. Let's write it this way so it doesn't get lost. It's being taken up by this side right here. And on the x tile, we know that side is 1 unit. So this is really y minus 1. Now I have to make my way around the x tile. So I have x, 1, x, y, y. I'm only walking around the outside. And because of that, I'm not worried about the part where x and y touch. I'm only worried about the outside of my tiles. Everything that is not covered in green is ignored. So for example, this part right here is not included in our combining of like terms. All right, so for perimeter, I start up at the top left corner, work my way around. I have y plus y minus 1 plus x plus 1 plus x plus, and I'm running out of room, y plus y. So if I were doing this on paper, I would write below the figure. And I need to make my categories. So I have 3 categories, and I'm sorry I've got to squish this in. I have a y, an x, and numbers. So we have right here y plus y, that's these two. a minus 1, a positive x, a positive 1, a positive x, positive y, positive y. Let me walk through that again. I have a y, a minus 1, an x, a positive 1, an x, a positive y, and a positive y. I go in order so I don't miss anything. Now I can add these up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 y's. I have 1, 2 x's. And 1 minus 1 cancels out. So my perimeter is 4y plus 2x units. All right, let's try some problems. 2 problems. Okay, this one looks funny. We have a y tile, a unit tile, and we'll write this in white, a unit tile. So my area is y plus 3 because I have 3 unit tiles. That's done. But my perimeter is going to get a little more crazy. I need to start up at the top left corner. I have a unit tile here. 1, 1. I'm going to skip the side of my y for a second and go around 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now this part right here, this is y. That side is y. But 3 units are being deducted or taken away from that y. So we really have y minus 3. Going back around the outside, we have a unit, a y, a unit, and a unit. So now I can write it all out. Starting at my top left, I have 1 plus 1 plus y minus 3 takes care of the entire side of my y. I have here 1, 2, 3, so I'm going to write plus 3. I have 1, 2, 3, so I'm going to write plus 3, and I'm going to continue working my way around. All right, time to combine my like terms. I have numbers, I have y's. That's it, 2 columns. So here I have 1, 2, plus a y, take away 3, add 3, add 3, add 1, add y, and then I have 2 more. So I'll say plus 2. All right, let's add all this up. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. So I have 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 3 more is 6, plus 3 more is 9. But then I'm taking 3 away, so really these cancel each other out. So I have 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 more, and then I have 2 y's. If I would have gone from the top down, I would have had 2 minus 3 is negative 1 plus 3. And that's a little more tricky. So I noticed that by adding from the bottom up, I could actually take 3 away. I'd have enough tiles to take 3 away. So my perimeter equals 8 plus 2y, and I can't forget my label of units. All right, let's try one more. This is an x squared tile, an x tile, and 2 unit tiles. Starting at my top left corner, I'm going to work my way around. Here I have an x, but 1 unit is being taken from that x. Work my way around my unit tiles. I have my x and my x, because this tile perfectly fits on each side of my x squared. All right, my area. The tiles I have are x squared plus x plus 2, and this is units. squared. Moving on to perimeter. I start up at my top left corner. I have x plus 1 plus x minus 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus x plus x. Keep your work really neat. Spread things out so it's legible. I have an x column and a number column. So I have an x and a 1. I have another positive x and a negative 1. Oops, excuse me. I have positive 6 and 2 more x's. Add it all up. 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. 1 minus 1 is 0, so I'm left with positive 6. And that's 4x plus 6 units for our perimeter. And now you are a pro at finding the perimeter of tiles that are combined together. Nice job.